What up, nation? It's week 8, NFL, CK. Find me on Twitter at CK_013. Owner of the WiseTake Nation, leader of the WiseTake Nation. It's been a rough NFL week. I'm hoping NBA could recoup some of that, but looking for that big pop still. Looking for that big pop. Been close, but then there's always that one player that has just jacked me up, man. At least one. But for the most part, it's been like really one bad one. But this week's another interesting week. I think there's some interesting ways to go. What I like the most about this is there's not a ton that I like. And that excites me a little bit. Number one, it's easy to pivot off if I decide to pivot off. Number two, it's just fuck it and just go heavier on the few things that you got, I guess, right? NBA is in full swing. That's always nice to see. Glad to have it back. But again, weekends are for football. That's what we're going to get into today. So let's go ahead and do it. We're going to start up our quarterbacks like we always do. Jalen Hurts against Pittsburgh is fine, right? Is what it is. Self-explanatory. Expect him to beast like most quarterbacks have against Pittsburgh. Most being the key word. Kyler Murray has D-Hop back. That should instantly help his situation. James Conner's still out, but I think they could have Darrell Williams in the backfield with Eno and some of these other guys. Marquise Brown is out. D-Hop is in. D-Hop's a pretty big weapon to have, and I think we've seen that thus far. Just in the one game D-Hop was back. Fine with Kyler. Probably have a Kyler team out there. But it's really Cousins that I prefer in that game. We'll get to that in a second. Tua. How do you not like Tua? In the dome with some of the fastest receivers in the league. Tyreek Hill. Jalen Waddle. What's not to like? Love Tua. Cover boy, I think will get owned. No big surprise there. It's Detroit's defense. And not for nothing, but Miami's defense against the pass this year has been a little suspect. Definitely in the bottom, towards the bottom half of the league against the pass. So I think that Detroit actually has a shot to kind of stick around and keep this game competitive. Love Tua this week, though. And I like Cousins. I mentioned it, alluded to it earlier. Specifically, the pass is really where Arizona has struggled. I mean, I think that defense overall has just been booty, but yeah, 6th against the run, actually. 27th against the pass, just to kind of put it into perspective for you. Cousins not an attractive guy to play. Hasn't had one week where he really smashed, but this could be it in this style of game. He's at home against a team that's been kind of a pass funnel, and he's got one of the best receivers, if not the best receiver in the league, in Justin Jefferson. So, yeah, I'm going to give me some Kirk Cousins and JPP life. After that, man, I'll be honest with you, there's not a ton that I love. There's interesting plays. I think the San Francisco Rams game is definitely interesting, right? But you're taking a chance, trying to get different. It's okay. Don't necessarily love it, though. I think the New Orleans game, kind of interesting. It's got one of the higher totals on the board. Both defenses kind of been middle of the road. Nothing special. You know what I mean? Vegas 30th against the pass. But it's Andy Dalton. So there's not a lot that I love there, right? Or is it? Yeah, okay. Dalton's just gonna straight up start over our boy, right? Famous Jameis. I mean, after that, it's just flyers, man. Taking shots on some of these guys, which I'm not totally against. Like, I'm sticking with those guys, bro. Like I said, maybe I don't hate the thought of some of these other dudes, but let me see. What we got? Looking for, yeah, the Bears 24th against the run. That's it, man. That's really it for me. I'm not even kidding. Running backs. Christian McCaffrey. Debo is out. We expect McCaffrey to get more. After having a full week of practice, we expect him to get more use. I think he's a phenomenal tournament play. In the same breath, Derrick Henry is a phenomenal play against Houston. Running backs against Houston has been just dirtying things up. And last week it came through too. It's just something that you don't really want to go against, right? 32nd dead last against the run. I'm good with that. I think Saquon, also very interesting against Seattle. Seattle's defense has not been good this year. 19th against the pass, 17th against the run. Josh Jacobs' volume has been incredible. His efficiency's been awesome. Look at this, man. 140, 150, 143. He's been nuts. He's had some pretty good matchups, though. But this is another one that's pretty decent. On the flip side, Alvin Kamara, if this game does go faster pace, if this game does get up there, we could see him kind of excel as well. It's tough, man. It's tough. But let's just get to the nitty gritty. Tony Pollard should be the highest owned player on the board. People are already trying to play this man when he's splitting things with Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott is now considered doubtful, assuming he does not play. Tony Pollard probably going to be 80% on some shit like that. And I'm going to have him too. He'll be in the core article. So don't get mad at me when you see me in the core article. If he busts, it busts. It's just the plays. It's just really hard to pass that up. Going down the list, we're not sure of the Jet situation. We know Brees is gone. We're not sure how much Robinson will play. As far as cheapies go, Darrell Henderson, okay, against Carolina, 3 targets, 12 carries, nothing special. The Niners are not necessarily a team that I like to pick on, but when they're in these competitive type games, a lot of times we'll see the scoring kind of just like it just come out of nowhere and you just don't know where it came from. But I think the more interesting play to me in this range is Deontay Foreman with Chuba out. Had 15 carries against Tampa Bay, a team that's supposed to be good against the run, 118 yards. We saw him perform well when he was in Tennessee. So I like Deontay Foreman. So it's pretty much for me right now. There's Aguilar, there's a bunch of guys we can go over. But for me right now, it's Foreman. Maybe Henderson, but probably just like Foreman. Obviously Pollard. And then after that, I'm trying to get up, man. I'm trying to get up to these guys. I don't mind these guys in between. I don't mind Kenneth Walker. I don't mind Stevenson necessarily. But it's really like C-Mac Henry, or I'm probably going down to those guys. But Pollard for sure, right? Pretty simple. You know how receivers work. We try to stick with it. Again, nobody's really going to play Cooper Kupp. I feel like this game is going to go very low owned in general because there's expensive players, and the matchups are not great on paper. But anytime you get these caliber type players, Christian McCaffrey, Cooper Kupp in the same kind of game, and you have that atmosphere, obviously things can happen. Justin Jefferson is the stud that I'm gonna try to reach when I'm looking for a stud at the receiver position. Definitely gonna have him in the Kirk Cousins teams. Probably can't fit him and D-Hop together easily, comfortably. So I may have to come down there. Talked about Tyreek Hill, talked about D-Hop. A lot of these guys, again, it's gonna come down to the stack you're playing. Even Adam Thielen, I think, is kind of interesting, right? The targets have been there. Maybe if you can't use Jefferson as a bring back, you go that route. Maybe have an extra Cousins team where you go with Thielen and another one, or I don't know. But point being, definitely in play. But, we talked Ayuk too. He's going to get some attention, but 11 targets his last 2 games. Debo is out, right? Should be some extra love for Kittle and him. DJ Moore is projecting to be one of the more popular receivers. Against Tampa Bay, 7 to 10 targets, got in the end zone. Now he's playing a worse defense in Atlanta. I think a lot of ownership will go his way. But let's talk about some value. So we got for the Jets, we've got we'll talk about them first. We've got Corey Davis out. Eli Moore missed the game, but now he's back. He's expected to play a bigger role against the Patriots, 4,700. You also got Garrett Wilson, who started off looking like he was going to be dope boy fresh, but then kind of once Wilson came in, the pass volume slowed down, and it's like the pass volume. Look at the way look at these games they've been winning, right? Pass volume was okay against Pittsburgh. He had 6 targets, not terrible considering you got Corey Davis and Elijah Moore played in that game. But at Miami, blowout. Green Bay, blowout. Denver was just a really slow play. They were kind of in control of the game the whole time. So yeah, they're gonna manage the game if they can. But the Jets receivers will definitely provide some value here against New England. New England, 28th against the rush, 5th against the pass. Just some perspective for you, right? Another interesting value play I thought was going to be with DK Metcalf out. DK Metcalf is out. Oh no, he's questionable now? Okay, he's questionable. It looked like... Okay, scratch that. We'll have to wait and see. If he's out, if we see him out, then I think that Marquise Goodwin becomes a phenomenal value play. With some big upside, down the field upside. They are at home. We're expecting some shitty weather, but you know, it is what it is. But that's receiver, right? Going with the stacks for now. Like I said, with Debo out, we could expect Kittle to get more looks. Definitely think he's in play. The usual suspects are fine. Ertz probably just in stacks. I think Hawkinson. Keep an eye out on the status of. I'm cool with Hawkinson either way, but keep an eye out on the status of Amon-Ra St. Brown. Because last time Amon-Ra St. Brown missed the game was against, like, fully missed the game was against Seattle. And obviously, Hawkinson went nuts. It was a nut matchup, though. Keep that in mind. And then I think Irv Smith, man, really cheap value option. If you don't want to pay up for Thielen and Jefferson, you can settle for Irv Smith in the middle. Arizona has been giving up the second most fantasy points to opposing tight ends. So I think he's heavily in play as well. And that's that. So again, not a ton that I like. The stream this week is short, simple, sweet. I like it like that. I think there's a lot of upside, a lot of different ways you can go. And but there's only like a few that I really want to lock into this week. And just kind of mix things up. I'd rather just have a couple different games I'm targeting and just mix them up in different ways. And that's how I'm approaching this week. But I appreciate it, guys. Can't do this stuff without you. Make sure you check us out at WiseTake.com. We got NBA projections, all that, NFL projections, all that, my core player articles for both. Kind of just grinding through the seasons. But go check it out. It's real cheap. Come aboard. Join the nation. Appreciate y'all. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe, at least for the free shit, right? At least for the free shit. Do it for the free. But I appreciate y'all, and I'll